Okay, here we see a 2013 Nissan Rogue. This is one of the auction cars. This is a used car. I notice here what Nissan does, this is quite a torque strut and front mount there on the engine. This is their 4-cylinder engine, normally aspirated. And on this one right here, it's just a port fuel injected engine, and here we see our plastic intake manifold and our throttle body. Now, one thing I do like about it is certainly the alternator is readily accessible, and the AC compressor is very easy to get to. Now, one thing that's interesting about this is, hey, where's my power steering system? Ah, this has an electric steering assist. So this actually has an electric steering assist that's part of the steering column. So it seems to work very smoothly and very nicely. Of course, this is a small car, so not a whole lot of strain there. Looks like I can obviously access the 4 spark plugs and the 4 ignition coils without any problem, and I can certainly see the injectors there, but obviously to do any service or to get at the fuel rail, we'll have to take our plastic intake manifold off. There we see the 2 oxygen sensors, the pre and the post catalyst oxygen sensor. Oftentimes they use an air-fuel ratio sensor or wideband oxygen sensor as the pre-catalyst sensor, and then the post-catalyst sensor is just looking for the activity of the catalyst. So I just want to see a drop in oxygen between the pre and the post to tell me that the catalytic converter is actually working to further oxidize hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide. So that's what we're after. Okay, so the CVT transmission seems to be okay now. Cooling system, everything seems to be in good shape. Air conditioner works just fine. When we purchased it from the auction, one of the first things was a transmission problem. This has the CVT, JATCO, Japanese Automatic Transmission Company, CVT, that they've been, of course, been making for Nissan. And there was a strange whistling noise. It was basically functional, but it was making a whistling noise. Sure enough, as you drove the vehicle, especially at under acceleration, it would make a whistling noise. And what we did, and of course on a Nissan, you have to use a screwdriver there to release this tab to pull the dipstick. Well, when we looked at the dipstick there, we saw the fluid was very dark and very smelly. Now what we did is that we dropped the pan. There's considerable metal in the pan, and the magnets were quite furry. It has a screen type filter. We had material in that filter, but we replaced the filter, freshened up the fluid with, of course, the proper CVT transmission fluid, very different from conventional transmission fluid, and then took her out for a road test, and sure enough, she was nice and quiet. So that took care of that problem. So that was one part of the preparing the vehicle for sale. Now let's go over here and look in the passenger compartment and talk about the blower motor. The blower motor was not functional. Alright, now as we can see, this 2013 Nissan Rogue has 115,000 miles on it, and there's a nice lift sticker there on the rear window. So obviously this was used as a, how should I say it, for Uber and Lyft. Obviously the person smoked who operated this car, so it has a strong smell of tobacco. But one of our problems was the blower motor was not functional. And unfortunately the blower motor is hiding up under the dash very, very high, going in there to the side of the heater air conditioning control box. Now what we did is we bought a kit which included the blower motor and what they're calling a blower motor resistor, but it's actually a power transistor, as what I'm doing is sending it a signal here through the air conditioning controller to control, of course, the speed. And after replacing the blower and the what they're calling a blower resistor, the blower now works very nicely. But that was quite a chore, removing this lower section, and actually had to remove the brake pedal and the gas pedal and get up in there and take out the blower motor. It's a little tricky to take out. There's one fastener that you take loose, and then you have to squeeze a lock and turn it counterclockwise. So probably about a fifth of a turn, and then it slides out very tight. And we've got the new one, and slipped right in there. Obviously it went back together a lot easier than it came apart, because we knew what we were doing. And now the blower works just perfect. So she's ready for sale.